Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good whatever time of day it may be for you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Laypack Gamer, and bringing forth to you, well, everything I've discovered about Cheesemancer. That and some speculation on what could be. I just have a bit of... This is the first time not first time. Actually, yeah, technically first time in a while that I've done something like this. So I do apologize if it sounds off, if it's a little loud. I hope the music's not too loud. I did test this beforehand, and it sounded okay, so fingers crossed that it's alright. Anyways, let's get into the presentation for the Cheesemancer. Now what I discovered is that there are 5 abilities for it. The first one is it's immune to lethal, immune to shackle, and your opponent can't target Cheesemancer with actions. Summon, battle an enemy creature. When Cheesemancer takes damage, she deals that much damage to you. In the game that I actually got to experience that, I thought she gave you health, or you gained life equal to the amount of damage she took. So similar to Aurora Sentinel, or not Sentinel, Sentry. This one was the only one I couldn't find. Only one creature in this lane can attack each turn. Pilfer, reduce the cost of the top card of your deck by 3. And then the last one, draw an item of your choice from your deck. So these are the 5 different abilities that you can get with Cheesemancer. A lot of people probably knew that. And if that's all you really came here to see, well then, congratulations. There's everything about Cheesemancer's abilities. I'm not going to talk much about deck creation in this, more so as speculating on what I believe the cards could be. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, how I'm going to do this is a very simple system. I'm going to give the card one of the following ratings at the top, either common, rare, epic, legendary. And if it's a legendary, I'm going to specify if it's a unique legendary, and if there's no specification, then it's just a normal legendary card. As well as I'd also showcase what I believe it could possibly have for stat-wise. Each of these stats here is what I considered when I'm talking about it. I'm going to be saying maybe like a low attack, low cost, mid health, high cost, etc., etc. This is just a little bit of information on exactly what I am guessing what I'm going to be rating the system on. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. I'm going to start with this effect. Only one creature in this lane can attack each turn. Originally, I had speculated that this could possibly be an epic card, and it could be something related around the Gates of Madness being a support card. However, after looking up the actual Cheesemancer effect, I realized it was creature only, which means this idea got shot down pretty quickly. However, after some theory crafting, I did manage to come up with another 2 cards that this could possibly have a decent effect on, and instead of naming it an epic support, I would name it a rare of either a zealot or a heretic. Both of these are, I guess they're the equivalent of conjurers or necromancers in the 4th. They're spellcasters. Some of them, each of them has their own pool of spells and conjurations they can use. The heretics were famous for using the conjure hunger spell, which I imagine we may see a card like that in this expansion. And the zealot was summon a flesh Atronak, which could possibly also make an appearance as perhaps a unique of another character, which I won't be talking about in this video as much, mainly because I may or may not have forgotten the name off the top of my head. But I predict it could be one of these 2. Might lean a little more towards the heretics because they are more orderly, and they are, out of the 2, both of them, the zealots don't believe that Sheogorath exists at all, and the heretics believe that he is a false Sheogorath. So both of them have reason essentially to not really like hate Sheogorath, but I guess that's that's his will, so we'll let it be with that. And what I speculate to possibly be for stat wise is it would cost 4, either have 2 to 3 attack and 5 health. I think the 5 health so that it could survive a hit from your opponent, as this is essentially a big control piece. As long as you can, as long as you keep this card alive, I mean your opponent could easily just kill it quickly with, I don't know, you take your pick. He might say towards a 2 to give it a bit of an easier time with certain removal, but it could very easily be a 3 attack as well. And again, all of this is my opinion. I'm not saying this is right or wrong. These are just speculations. This is probably one of the weaker ones that I have. I have a couple of very, very strong ones that I'm going in my gut thinking, yep, this is very close to what I think that this effect is. So take it with a grain of salt. Take it as you will. The next one is draw an item of your choice from your deck. I think this could be either a rare or this ability would be on a rare or epic card. And a bit of backstory for this. So when you enter the Shivering Isles after passing through the Gates of Madness, you end up having to travel to the capital of the Shivering Isles, which is New Sheoth. And there you are introduced, depending on which side you come on. We're going to start with the demented side of Madness. You will come across Cutter, who will forge Madness Ore. She's the Master Smith of Crucible, which is the demented side of New Sheoth. And oh jeez, I'll be honest, I also forget his name, even though I had to research it in the trying to get a picture of him. And I feel really bad because I don't remember it off the top of my head. But anyways, I'm just gonna call him Ambersmith, and he is the Master Smith of the Manic side of New Sheoth, which is known as Bliss, and he will forge Amber Armor. So I imagine that being so related around armor, weapons, and that's what a lot of the other the armor and weapons of Elder Scrolls Legends being items. I believe it would be something along the lines of say, I don't know, maybe New Sheoth Smith. Being able to have this effect on it. I think it'd be a 5 cost, 2 attack, 6 health. I was severely debating it putting it lower with the other item cards, but then I remembered that Laneth is a card that allows you to fish out a creature, so perhaps it would maybe be best if this ability was rated a little bit higher up. It's got a lot of health because these guys are smiths, so I imagine they probably have a way like armor, if you will. And you can fish out an item of your choosing, either make the New Sheoth Smith stronger or weaker, depending on what you feel. So that's what I think this card's ability could be. Next off, we have Summon. Battle a enemy creature. When Cheesemancer takes damage, she deals that much damage to you. I'll be honest, I had a hard time trying to think of this one. Same with the next one. They were both, I'd say, equal on. Oh shoot, what would I put with this ability? Of what I know from the Shivering Isles. And this one, it's a bit of a weak tie, but I ended up saying this is going to be a common card, and it's going to be likely in the form of a disease Scalon. A Scalon, it was a amphibious creature that could occasionally sneak up on you. I don't know of any creatures in the Shivering Isles that would bring damage you though. That would not damage you. Obviously, a lot of creatures would try to kill you, but I don't know of very many that would try to actually what's the word I'm looking for? Damage themselves. Although now that I think about it, Vythar ghosts could possibly also fit for this description. Again, it's a little loose term, but maybe that will make sense because the story behind Vythar is a bunch of people failed in their duties, and thus, as a punishment, they were forced to relive their failure over and over and over again. So this could be, say, hey, because they failed their duty well, I'm not sure what it would be. They are dealing, well, no, wait, you failed to kill your opponent. So every time that creature takes damage, you take the damage for it because maybe you're not taking responsibility. I don't know. That's just a guess. But regardless, if it's either a Vythar Ghost or a Disease Scalen of sort, I think it would be 4 cost, 6 attack, and 5 to 6 health. Definitely something with a lot of attack for a battle creature. And the fact that it also has this drawback, I'm more than willing to raise the health up, because if, say, it didn't have this effect, and it was similar to Skyborn Dragon, I would probably have put the health around 1, maybe 2. Just make sure that it doesn't survive, and lower the attack down by a little bit as well. But this, I think, is fair for given the effect. Yes, it's a lot of damage, but in return, you could possibly end up taking that same punishment back to you. Next off, we have Pilfer. Reduce the cost of the top card of your deck by 3. I didn't think of any characters that came to mind with this. I did believe this would be a rare, and a Khajiit of some sort. Reason being is this sounds like an agile effect. Everything else on this list I could think has a high chance of being neutral. The previous one, I believe it would also fit in a strength deck. So with it, and this one to me, it screams put me in agile, or perhaps maybe it's a willpower effect because those are the 2 classes that tend to get Pilfer a lot. I'm not 100% sure. The stats, this one I was very iffy on. I decided to leave the 3 to 5 cost up, but I changed the attack from originally being 1 to 2, and the health from being 3 to 4 to simply being 1 attack and 3 health. Because if this card gets a really good Pilfer effect, basically, if you draw a really powerful card like Tazcad, and say you play his turn 4, turn 5 comes around, if you have the ring, you just play a 6 cost Tazcat, clear the next board, just keep pilfering all day and reducing the costs. And it works really well with other Pilfer cards, so just kind of draw a little bit back on the synergy. You're not going to be dealing an overly amount of damage to your opponent. It's not a difficult creature to remove, but if you can get the effect, it's like what I believe most Pilfer cards should be out there. They're okay, they're not that strong, but if you can get that Pilfer effect off, it is worth it. Worth the setup, worth having in your deck. Essentially, it's like a heist, where if you can get it away with it, break out and successfully pull off the heist, congratulations, you're that much richer. And if you don't, well, you're either in jail or your life is forfeit. But in this case, your life would be forfeit. So I think this is a reasonable stat for a card that could possibly be surrounding this effect. And I saved my favorite till last. Immune to lethal, immune to shackle. Your opponent can't target Cheesemancer with actions. And I believe that text would actually be changed to the actual card, which is nice to see. This one, I say it's a unique legendary. You could argue for just a flat legendary, instead of a unique legendary. But the card that I see with this, and I'll back this up, is the Gatekeeper. Picture on the left is imitating him in Crushing Blow, and the image on the right is an actual picture from the game. I believe that this is a really good effect for the Gatekeeper, seeing as how it was definitely a tough adversary to take down. You couldn't really stop him in the game. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've taken on the Gatekeeper, but I don't think he was affected by the illusion spells. So, Frenzy, Calm. He might have been affected by Calm, and what's the other one? Oh, Fear. I don't believe he was affected by any of those spells. It was essentially, you got to go in there, you got to take him out as best as you can. And he can't be targeted by actions, so the only way you're getting rid of this guy is if you are playing Agility, you Leaf Lurker, you bring out a Silence card, in which case it might make cards such as the cards, the Loot, a really good choice to put on the Gatekeeper, because now essentially you have a creature that, unless your opponent is running Agile, it will not, or has a ton of damage on the board, it will never die. Well, that and Manacora and Alduin. But essentially, it makes a creature that will never die. And because of this, here's the stat lines that I've picked. A 9 cost, 6 to 7 attack. I'm leaning a little more towards the 7 attack and 10 health. In the game, it was very tanky, took a lot of hits to take down. You end up making a second Gatekeeper after you slay the first one. And, well, it's a fun fight. Just before we have the Isles of Madness get released, I'm going to be, well, doing a bit of a piece together action series, or at least getting some decent shots of what I believe to be every card that is, well, not every card, but sort of where the journey would go, ideally. I'm not quite sure what I'm saying here. I'm just really excited. Okay, I think before I completely derail, we're just going to go ahead and end the video right here. So, thank you everybody for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, hit the subscribe button if you really enjoy. Please leave your opinions in the comments. Everything here that I presented is more of a, this is what I believe is going to happen. And while each of those cards we might not see, like we might not see a heretic or a zealot with the attack restriction ability, or we might not see the Gatekeeper with the immune to shackle, immune to lethal, and you can't be targeted by actions effect. But those cards, I do believe those, at least the portraits, obviously in Elder Scrolls Legends art fashion, we will definitely be seeing them as cards. The Gatekeeper, I'm gonna place a 95% sure that we probably could see that effect tied in with the Gatekeeper. I'm gonna be honest, I'd be surprised if I was right here. So I'm making the call now. What I presented as a Gatekeeper, in terms of an ability-wise, is correct. Stats, might be a little off. But I believe that ability does connect to the Gatekeeper. And feel free in the comment section, tell me what you think about this. I am always looking forward to opening a discussion with people. So feel free to tell me if you think, yeah, you know what, I agree with you. Or, what are you talking about? No, this would never work. And, of course, don't forget to share this video with anybody who you think is going to enjoy my content. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take it easy, and, well, enjoy the Madness Festival.